Good evening. This is Benedict Forsyth with a special report by the TRIAC Chronicle on the latest news at the moment, keeping you informed in even these darkest of times. While the fight continues in Australia, it seems that it is not only the Protectorate that is beset by enemies. In the Commonwealth of Britannia, it has become clear that the situation in Scotland has grown critical. It seems that in the last few days, the Highland traitors, now calling themselves the Highland Brotherhood, have used their greater numbers, and it seems newfound weapons and supplies, to consolidate their position in the north. As of 17:45 this evening, our sources at the Chronicle have reported that Scottish forces have overrun the border posts and garrisons of the Commonwealth forces in Scotland and sent all survivors of the battles south with the message that, and I quote, "Scotland no longer recognises the tyranny of the Admiralty and has taken steps to free themselves from the claws of unjust rulers and a nation willing to watch its citizens die while they watch from their ivory towers. We have let those Commonwealth soldiers who surrendered travel south, and we have taken back control of our cities and borders. The Admiralty and the Commonwealth are no longer welcome or needed in New Scotland." That quote from an unknown Scottish war leader was the last communication from the north before the Scottish ended ethergraph communications with the south. Since this incident, we have had reports of a large expeditionary force of marines and vessels massing at a staging post on the outskirts of the York arcology. Admiralty forces and regular army units have, it seemed, been ordered to the location to begin, we can only assume, the retaking of Scotland and the beginning of a campaign in the north. When we attempted to gain more information on the situation, we were told politely and firmly that no comment would be made at this time. It seems that the Admiralty wants to keep this affair very much to themselves for now. We are joined now by a special guest at the Chronicle who has very kindly given us time out of her busy working schedule with Lord William Grey and his TRIAC cell, Communications and Intelligence Officer Dixie Valentine. Miss Valentine, welcome to the Chronicle.
Well, thank you for having me, Mr. Forsyth.
Oh, you're very welcome. And please, call me Benedict. Now, Miss Valentine, the Scottish situation seems to have begun shortly after the incident in the north involving Lord Grey's cell, and something he refers to only as the unfortunate event. Would you care to comment?
Well, I don't think the Scottish uprising has anything to do with the direct actions of the TRIAC agents on scene. In fact, I would go so far as to say that the agents did all that they could to calm the situation to the best of their ability. As to this unfortunate event, well, I declare that I do not know which event you're referring to, Benedict, and I suggest you take that up with Lord Grey himself.
Very well, Miss Valentine. It seems that we're done with that specific avenue of questioning. Let's move on. TRIAC have a history of being mediators in internal conflicts, and indeed international conflicts. Do you have any information on how TRIAC intend to intervene in the situation, if at all?
I think at this time it's a national problem that the Commonwealth need to deal with internally. Remember, TRIAC are forced into neutrality in these situations. Unless, of course, they ask for our assistance, in which case, of course, we'll lend our expertise to the matter at hand.
Of course, yes, neutrality. How could I forget? So, what is your opinion on the Scottish problem? Do you think that it is simply a symptom of the problems facing the Commonwealth today and how the Admiralty is running the country?
I could not possibly comment on how the Admiralty choose to run their nation. As a TRIAC officer of some standing, it wouldn't be fitting nor indeed polite for me to cast any aspersions on how a nation conducts itself internally.
Very well, yes. Well, okay, let's move on to another question. I haven't met Lord Grey, and I was wondering if you could give us an idea on what it's like to serve with such a distinguished TRIAC officer, and of course, a member of the TRIAC Council.
Lord Grey is a gentleman, and it's been a pleasure to serve under his command for many years, and I have never had anything but the utmost confidence and respect for him. If I could be so bold after all this time, it's safe to say that I consider him a personal friend.
High praise indeed, Miss Valentine. I'm sure the good gentleman is worthy of such praise. And finally, we hear whispers of a new TRIAC excursion for Lord Grey's cell very soon. Do you have any information you can give us, or our listeners, about this?
Well, I've believe the next excursion will be to Prussia in a few short weeks' time, to coincide with their Oktoberfest celebrations.
Oh.
The details of this mission are, of course, classified, so I hope you'll understand if I'm a little vague, Mr. Forsyth. Suffice to say, the ambassador's reception should prove very interesting, as it has attracted celebrities from all the major nations. Whether that's due to Prussian politics or Prussian ale is anybody's guess.
Well, quite, yes. Well, Miss Valentine, it all seems very interesting, but that, unfortunately, is all we have time for today. I would like to thank you for your time and wish you every luck in the future and in all of your endeavours.
Thank you, Benedict. It's been a real pleasure to be here.
So there you have it, listeners. From the mouth of one of Lord Grey's most trusted officers, we will monitor the Scottish and Australian problems and bring you any further updates as they unfold. As to TRIAC, we continue to follow their exploits with great interest as the war continues. This is Benedict Forsyth, signing off. Good day to you, and keep safe, wherever you are.